stand together here. Oh man, what is going on here? All right, everybody. Oh, no one's here. So cool. I can prep. All right. All right. Let's get this all set up. Let's get this part. Yeah, let's get this set up here. All right, we in the building. If this doesn't work, close this out. I'm a little late. Where's my pen? Yeah, I'm a little late. All right, here we go. All right, I was a little late because I was enjoying life with the lovely wife, but you know what it is? It's 2 o'clock. It's Saturday. Well, 2:05. It's Saturday, and it's time for us to chop it up. And as you can see here, new merch in the store. Give me that. I really use my points. This time it is in black. I wore that out. We are in DC. Told you guys I was gonna go live from a special location. We're at the Park Hyatt DC, beautiful hotel, beautiful part of town on the West End. And we just came from the National Museum of African American History, right?
Yes.
Yes. So we went. What's going on, Dem? What's up, Calder DS? I do have perspectives, and because I was late, I'm actually less prepared than I normally am, and I can't find the stylus to my MFing notepad, which is not responding to my finger. But let's see if I can't. Ho-ho. So I'm going to be doing the thumbnail afterwards. This is going to be an episode of Chad's Perspectives labeled Straight Talk. Let me put on Do Not Disturb because someone's going to call me during this live and I'm going to be pissed. Here. All right. So Do Not Disturb is back on. So no more Discord interruptions. No more other things. So this is episode 7. And this one is about taking off the fluff. Obviously it's something that I do anyway, but let's just take away the fluff. A lot of times, for the sake of popularity and the sake of views, there's a lot of gentle handling, and we just don't need that because this is the HBO of the credit card community. I give it to you raw. I'll tell you the shit just like it is. And then on top of that, we're going to get right to the point. The whole point is I need to make you the smartest credit card users in the room. That is what I owe to you. That is my obligation to you. Just like your obligation is to keep me honest. Sometimes tell me when I'm full of shit. Tell me when I got it right. Tell me when I got it wrong. And I'll do the same for all of you guys. Pure give and take here. So with that, let's get to the more exciting bits for the early adopters. Let's have a look at the room. So this is an FHR booking that we did. Okay. Apparently, I can't go in the other room. You may see too much skin or not enough clothes, whichever one you choose to define it as. But over my shoulder, you can see this is a Park Hyatt Junior Suite. We really do use our credits. We do our bookings. We enjoyed the Blue Duck Tavern. The Blue Duck Tavern. We enjoyed that. So as you can see here, you have a view of the Fairmont, Washington, D.C., another upscale hotel. There are quite a few upscale hotels here. So we're actually very close to some of the embassies. We have the Embassy of Senegal, which is right around the corner. Now I'm making my way, and here's the restroom. This is, well, obviously, that's where the magic happens. And then you have, let me turn on the light. Open area shower with, everyone knows my favorite, rainfall showers. Tub. That is the jewel of the room, folding clothes or doing what it is that jewels of the room do.
Developing her next outfit.
So now we've gotten that part out of the way. Okay, we've done that. So now let's talk perspectives. No, the regular web stream isn't up because it just wouldn't work for me. So I just decided to go up, and I'll make everything background balloon, vertical, book. Okay, good. I do believe it was the junior was the original booking because the gentleman explained that they weren't able to give me an upgrade during check-in yesterday. We still have to go downstairs and check in for our next night because we did 2, but I will keep you guys updated on that. To be perfectly honest with you, I think I opted for the junior suite just to have a little more space. But just to see what I could get, you know? You never know. So, very first perspective. This is something I've said before. This is something I will say again, period, point blank, especially with all the pandemonium going around built, around refreshes, around proposed refreshes, proposed new card offerings. I'm going to tell you guys something that this is something that ought to be common knowledge, but apparently it is not. Also, this is something that will contribute to some of the questions that you guys may get asked, as in some cases you may be the resident credit card expert. The first perspective is the best credit card that you need is the best credit card, period, is the one that you do not need if you end up needing this. Now, I know I've probably repeated this perspective before. False alarm. But it needs to be stated again because I see a lot of reversion back to zero understanding of credit cards, especially surrounding built smoke and mirrors with their ancillary programs. But in effect, it's still just a credit card. You understand what I mean? If you find that you are in need of a credit card, trust and believe you are not getting full benefit because essentially there is something that you're going to lose out on. Because remember that reciprocity, businesses need to make money too, so they have to take something from you in order to survive. But when you find that you are in a situation where you do not need a credit card and it is pure upside, I want to get this credit card because I have 20, this is just raw numbers, as we know, sign-up bonuses are going up. But let's just say I have $500 expense where I have the $500 in cash, but I can also get 20,000 Chase UR points, MR points, whatever your soup du jour is. And I know dollars for donuts, no interest, no nothing. Not only will I sock draw this card, I can cut it up and use it as confetti because I will never use it again, period whatsoever. The card can go dormant and die. That is the best credit card for you. Be it cashback, be it points. That is the whole thing. That's the crux of the argument. So a lot of times people will say that to challenge you and try to get you into a subjective argument of, well, this is the card that's best for you because blah, 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 blah. You will never be able to rewrite someone's story better than them. Ever, period, whatsoever. So don't fall into that trap. The best card is the one that you do not need. The best card is the one that actively competes with and beats your ability to pay cash for an item. That is it. That's regardless of your situation, regardless of your work, regardless of how many children you have, regardless of how many, or of where you do your grocery shopping or so on and so forth, and every other condition that people will name, the best card for you is the one that you don't need. No one can argue that because no one can disprove it from an objective standpoint. What do I mean by that? Objectively, this is an electronic tablet. No one can argue that. For me, it is my lifeblood because I write everything down. For other people, it could be somewhere to rest their drink. That's objective versus subjective. All right. That's the first perspective. I saw Lady OMG. Yeah, that's the missus. Let's see here. Let's go to the comments here. Once again, my apologies. StreamYard wasn't working for me, so I just decided to just go live directly into YouTube. What's up, Dan? Calder DS. Jordan Rules for Credit in the building. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to you, sir. I appreciate you for being here. Credit Chill Food, top of the day to you. Same to you. Background Balloon in the house. Yes, the regular web stream is not up because I had issues. Ill Guys, OFC. What's up? Sister Joel. Salute to you, brother. Caldia says, yep, just vertical. Source King, did you book? Yeah, I answered that. You call my name. I don't know what that means. I saw a lady. Filmo's World. Checking in from Epcot, where I used 2 cashback subs to save $1,000. Oh man, we swap positions, man. You're down in my neck of the woods, Filmo. Welcome to the chat. Juan Garcia in the building. Salute to you. Source King says, having $18,000 in dental bills and sitting on the cash is how I discovered this game. Absolutely. Why not get a return? And when you know you're not going to use it again, you all the way win. Called DSS Chat. How are your kids doing with you guys away on vacation? They are fantastic because in addition to going on vacation, we both travel for work. Normally it's on alternating schedule. So they're accustomed to the fact that if we have to go somewhere, we have to go somewhere on a plane and that we'll be back as soon as humanly possible. Background Balloon says, but Bill said their points are so valuable that everyone should want to jump through so many hoops. I mean, it could be a case. There's some versatility. Value as a subjective matter is something that people will argue and debate forever and ever and ever. Everyone thinks that US dollars are the most valuable things in the world ever elsewhere, but in the desert, the most valuable thing is a cup of water. You know what I mean? Value has subjective metrics depending on who's using it, but with Built, I can say from a 10,000 foot view, Built points since inception. I have used them, I have redeemed them. The one-to-one transfer rate, it has always worked for me, period. And I think it can work for anyone, but it depends on how much spend you want to run through their cards, which it looks like they want you to start upping, is the amount of spend that you push through their cards. So there is a balancing act that will need to happen for that, but objectively, they are valuable. I'm not going to assign a value to them, but I do think that they are valuable. Appreciate you, John, for gifting the membership. Thank you very much, sir. Eat, Sleep, and Point says subjective. True story. Dem says, I haven't thought that the US dollar has been valuable for nearly a decade. Obviously, well, you have more of an intimate knowledge on the financial aspect of said currency than most, but I totally understand where you're coming from that. But yeah, you know, value as a subjective matter can be the cause of a bunch of arguments. Eat, Sleep, and Point says, gotta become a billionaire and not waste brain cells on credit card equations. That then would solve every argument, period. That's it. Hold on, why did this do this? Okay, there it is. Okay. But yeah, so I mean, that too is always a solution. There are quite a few solutions to quite a few things. So I can accept that. So now we have caught up on the chat here. Once again, I appreciate you, John, for gifting that membership. Also, for my members only, I did drop a video earlier today about travel security. If you are a member of the channel, please feel free to check that out. Normally, my members only videos are streams of consciousness that hit me in the moment, and they will drop without warning, they will drop without thumbnails, and I get straight to the point of what it is that I'm trying to say. There's no editing, they're very easy and free, but they are pointed information for my members to enjoy and take advantage of. And please feel free to interact and ask me any questions that you need to ask me concerning those. So now we are at perspective number 2. One thing that I've noticed, especially, what's up, Reese? One thing that I've noticed, especially with people who are new to the game or people who listen to theory crafters in great abundance before they actually take care of their first real redemption, is that one thing that I know for certain, the cost of free travel, the cost of how we go everywhere and do everything for free, can be quite a surprise and can lead to overspending with people who are not accustomed to what it takes to support so-called free travel. That is what, there's just no other way to say it. I think the idea of free travel is an absolute misnomer because, okay, I stayed 6 days in Maui, right? I stayed 6 days in Maui, no money out of pocket. I went to a hotel down in Maui, but I still had to get there. Hidden cost. Earning the points. Still, that is the root cost. Gotta eat. Ancillary costs. So, in truth, the destination could be quote unquote free, but there is always costs associated. Now, when you don't pay the equivalent of $8,000 for a hotel room, $15,000 for a plane ticket, sometimes that dopamine hit can trick people into not understanding that you still have costs that are associated here. And if you go overboard, if you overspend, that part is on you. So always being cognizant of the fact that free travel can trick you into spending a lot of money is something that you have to notice. Now, there are people getting in that they may see me taking flights by this business carrier, that business carrier, and oh, well, if he could do it, I could do it. That's normally people's thing. But I also understand that there are fees associated. I also understand, like I said, the root costs, the ancillary costs, and the other costs that are associated with, and I craft strategies in addition to that to understand that my spend, while I do have a little more wiggle room, I can still capitalize on that even further. Shout out to the people with I believe it's the Atmos Summit that does foreign spend, and the no foreign transaction fee cards and this and that, whatever. But that is the other thing. Free travel can quickly trick people into overspending because they're only looking at this part of the picture, like their eye, this much they see, and there's a whole bunch going on over here that people tend not to notice, and it's not really explained to them. People will tell you, oh man, we went backpacking through Cusco to go see Machu Picchu and so on and so forth. But did you fly into Cusco? No, you did not. You probably flew into Lima, and then you had to make your way. Then you had to take the train. Then you had to go up the hill. Then you had to get to the park. Then you had to pay for you see what I'm saying? Then there's the Viator deals. Then there's the food. There's a lot that went into that. It's like, oh man, but I didn't spend this much to get there. Okay, but then you also did shopping to get the VAT. You also bought gifts, souvenirs. You did this, you did that, you did this, da da blah 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 blah, and so on and so forth. Amen. That is what that perspective circles on. But let's go back to the chat. Eat, Sleep, and Point says, that's why I like NFTs. Buy NFTs, 2 weeks later, sell them higher, shebang, free credit card points. Okay, there's nothing wrong with arbitrage. Arbitrage is fantastic. If you can do that with NFTs, great. I mean, I am all for arbitrage. I mean, people make a lot of money doing that, especially if they have a gift and talent for it. John's Credit and Travel says, theory crafting is just that, theory crafting. Everyone theory crafting was built right now, unless they show their receipts, is bullshit. Show me the proof. Walk the walk. I can get behind that 1,000%. Like I told you guys last week, I have a built Palladium that's on the way. I am going to figure it out. Once I figure it out, then I'm going to figure out how to make it easier on me so I can share it with you. I get it. There is a million built videos out there. Everyone's an expert. Everyone is keeping you updated on the latest breaking. That's all well and good. It ain't for me, period. And that ties into another perspective I have. It just, for me, if there is not a uniform outline of what it is it entailed, which it can't be as they keep changing it, until I get my boots on the ground, I won't be able to tell you what the terrain is like. So that's why I'm jumping in blind. What a pity. AC Point says, yes, time is subjective. Lost time can never be regained. I think I was going to agree, but I think you may mean objective, since we all have the same 24 hours. I think time value may be more of a, I think time value may be more of a precise way to describe that, as time value takes into account external stimuluses that will affect your ability to utilize your time. But thank you for that. Cesar Joel says, agree 100%. Free travel is expensive. It can be. And here's the thing. Here's the thing that a lot of people tend to miss. 9 times out of 10, well, I won't even say that. The vast majority of the time, that free travel is not for one person. Every person that you add makes free travel significantly more expensive. And I mean to a very significant degree. So per person, and then with children especially, children even more so than elderly persons, children have special situations where, yeah, they can even be more expensive than just another adult who can work and can contribute to said price. So that is something you also want to consider. Let's see here. Woodsy in the building. Salute to Woodsy. Thank you so much for joining me here. So let's run into perspective number 3. Let's see here. That was 2. Oh, so let's go from the objective side of the coin to the subjective side of the coin. And this is something that it may make people point fingers. It is what it is. Only hit dogs holler. And if you're not guilty, you're not going to take offense to this. But some of the flat out best cards for people's specific situations, for most people watching, most people consuming, most people getting into the credit card game, some of the absolute best credit cards for them are the ones that YouTube creators don't talk about because there are no referral bonuses. There, I said it. You want to know about a lot of the times some of the best cards that may be for you, some of the ones that may be local and regional where you might be pigeonholed in the cashback. You could be, but that's still a return on your money. I guarantee. Ask a creator about a card that makes them go, and it's chances are 99%, I will go with 99%, quote me, I don't even care, just don't argue with me, is that the reason they can't tell you about that card is because there's no referral link in the comment section. They can't push the card. They can't get a little something for the card. Meanwhile, as you ask them questions, and most people who ask questions do so from a point of self-interest and self-involvement, they can't answer that because outside of the referral bonus, they're not telling you about the card. They just aren't. I can tell you significantly, I've said it on numerous lives before, the Amex Platinum, the amount of people I've been told to have Amex Platinums, it said that they were doing it for the quote-unquote sub, for this and that, whatever, have absolutely no need for an Amex Platinum. Be it for the ancillary lifestyle benefits or whatever, most of them would benefit. If I move back to most of them would benefit from a good skeleton key card like an Amex Green, like the City Strata Premier, right? CSP, yeah, City Strata Premier, or or Wells Fargo Autograph. If I were to move back to Brooklyn, where I'm from, I tell you what, chances are the platinum card would get scrapped. I'd probably have an Amex Green, or even I would do a Savor and a CSP combo. That would cover so many things, including transit, travel, groceries, restaurants, all of the things that I need, and then just grab a 2-point card under it and shore up all my points, and I'd probably be crushing a lot of people who have exponentially more subs than me on YouTube. The fact is that if you want to know subjectively what the best card is, I'm not telling you not to listen to creators. I'm not telling you not to do that. I'm not telling you not to take what they say seriously, but look at the whole entire picture. Do not just have that tunnel vision because, people listen to them, so they must know what they're talking about. People listen to me all the time. People don't listen to me. And I know what I'm talking about. People do listen to me. And I know what I'm talking about. That is not an indicator of whether someone knows what they're talking about. If their relatability to your situation, remember, we're on the subjective side of the coin here, does not match up, you owe it to yourself to do further research. And there are plenty of cards out there that do not get the shine that they deserve because people cannot make money off of them. People cannot make referral points and bonuses off of them. They can't do it. So in their mind is, what's in it for me? I'm telling you to have that same attitude. Think about what's in it for you. If you hear a passing mention of a autograph or something of that nature, or a regional credit union card, they're on websites. Check them out. What are you not checking them out for? Because somebody didn't tell you? Trust me, they put the big bits, they put the fancy bits in big letters, so it's not even a long read. So that is something that you guys need to know. A lot of cards that you tend to miss out on, it's because somebody can't make money off of them. All right, let's go back to the comments here. Source King says, I'm not looking for free travel. I'm looking to make luxurious and travel affordable. Absolutely. That is the perspective that a lot of people tend not to get, is that you want luxury travel to be doable. You want luxury travel to be affordable. That is what it is. It's not free, but free activates the mind and gets into the psychology of credit cards and points and miles, and tends to make people do things they otherwise would not do. So that is how, you know what, from now on, I will be referring to that. Affordable luxury travel. Because luxury travel is out there and they will gladly take your money. They will gladly take the cost of a brand new car for an airline seat. They will gladly take it and won't bat an eyelash. But there are other ways that are just simply not advertised, and other ways that make somebody like me, who does not earn 6 figures a year, be able to travel like someone who earns between 6 and 7 figures a year and be treated the absolute same. Great comment. I appreciate that, Source King. Bill Wright. Hello, Bill Wright, and welcome to the chat. He says, I watch a few channels, much less, because they flip-flop on card recommendations. I watch for advice, and 6 months after they had a trip, that card isn't good. You should get this other card. Absolutely. So are the winds of change. That's how it works, because I'm going to give you, let me fill you guys in on the secret. Come here. They change the referral codes and bonuses. If you notice on my channel, the referral codes, half the time they don't even work, because I just thought you put one up there and that's it. But they actually change over time. The referral policies change over time. So if you notice that there is a strong shift all of a sudden and nothing material has changed about the card, that should be the trigger to money grab. Easily Point says, I'm gonna clip this and repost it and get 10 million views. Hey man, at least one of us will, because I know they ain't watching me unless, I say something good that they want to repackage and attribute to someone else. Jen 512X says, I am thankful I never applied for the platinum. Doesn't fit my lifestyle and not sure if it ever will. Venture X and possibly a rich card, if I decide to get it again, is more in line. Absolutely. You have to know where you're pointing. Like me, for instance, I have a seafood allergy. So in turn, I don't frequent Portland, Maine. I don't frequent Red Lobster. I don't frequent seafood restaurants, as I have a shellfish allergy. Knowing yourself is the biggest way to hinder the marketing geniuses behind credit cards. All you have to do is know yourself. And it is not a strike against you if the platinum doesn't fit your situation. I'll never understand. Well, I do understand. That's just how the psychology of credit cards are played, but it's not a strike against you. If it don't fit, it don't fit. And here's the thing. What a lot of people are not going to tell you is a lot of benefits you get from the platinum. If you have other cards that have reward things like Bank of America, AmeriDeals, Wells Fargo, the cash deals that are associated with the cards, and hell, even Amex, if you don't have the platinum, the Amex offers, they will allow you to pay for and curate some of the benefits that you get from the platinum card at a discount anyway. So you're really not missing anything For the most part, aside from Centurion Access, which you can get on another card for cheaper, 5X rewards, and some good insurances as far as like bad delay, trip delay, and things of that nature. But you're not really missing much. I mean, if it's for you, it's for you. If it's not, it's not. It's all good. It's just a debt vehicle as anything else. Source King says, always listen to advice, but consider the source. Absolutely. That is what I want you to do. Consider the source. If someone cannot tell you, if someone cannot be human enough to make a mistake, and someone cannot be human enough to admit when they've made a mistake, that's someone I'm not running to listen to. I really am not. If you're too polished, because look, there are people who get it right most of the time. No one gets it right all the time. And if they are, there are bits that you are missing. John Credit Travel agrees, says 100%. Dem says, huge difference between free travel and subsidized travel. Nothing in the world is free, including a swipe on a no annual fee card. People need to learn about interchange fees and the cost of business to owners. Absolutely. That's why I've tried to outline the reciprocity of business that people don't understand. That's why a lot of people who get into this and listen to theory crafters, and even some people who are significantly skewed in their viewing by no fault of their own, because the psychology has worked in them, doesn't understand. You cannot get into the credit card points and miles situation and think that only you will benefit. These firms have to make money. If they don't, your points disappear. If they don't, your miles disappear. If they don't, that credit vehicle disappears, and now you're back to paying cash, and then you're mad because they couldn't run a business. That's not how any of that works. So let's go here. What? You know, like traveling by camel, that is luxury. As a matter of fact, it's funny that you say that. I specifically dislike traveling by camel. The one time I was on a camel was actually a combination of my first and my last time on a camel. I did so in the Sahara when I was on the Giza Plateau with the wife in Egypt. It's not my thing. And I think my wife's camel was drunk because the thing kept tripping, but for some reason she was so excited. I don't even think she noticed that they almost did a front flip, but that's another story for another day. Dem says, shellfish allergy here too. Not that it really matters since I am on a vegan diet. I did a vegan diet for a couple of months. I tell you what, I was very low on energy, didn't realize I needed to take B12, but I actually hadn't felt better. So good for you on that journey. Call to DS says, your home airport, frequent connecting airport matters about what card you need. For me, in Detroit, Wayne, DTW, connecting in OHX, have no idea what that one is. Platinum gives access that I need that CSR VX won't provide. Absolutely. That is your story. You must lean into it. John's Credit and Travel says, I like Chad because Chad shows the receipts. I show the receipts as well. I really dislike theories crafters that talk about how awesome a card is and have no proof that they did it. That's it. That is all. PGAR late. I'm here. You're not late, man. We are here. We're doing our hour. And PHX. Thank you, Calder. I know exactly where that one is. James Ragland in the building. What's up? James, salute to you. I hope all is well with you. Thank you so much for being here. Mike Newland. I've been Newlanded. He is in. Thank you so much also for the purchase of the shirt as well. I hope you are enjoying it. You look great. Let's get into perspective number 4. Let's see here. Okay. For this, right? We talk about upgrades in spaces, and to quote the general sledging team, closed mouths don't get fed. One thing that I've noticed in my travels, and I truly do travel, as John will attest, the space available upgrade is a great way to scare away people who have absolutely no backbone. Doing this thing of ours, right? I have noticed that there are a lot of things that people expect to just simply be handled, not realizing that the human element dictates that you should be intimidated for asking for what it is that you deserve, especially like given the FHR. Now, I believe it was Source King who asked if this was my booking or did I get upgraded. I did not get upgraded per the guy at the front desk, but I asked. A lot of the times people getting into this don't open their mouth and ask, be it at an airport gate, be it at the hotel desk, oh, the rental car stand. Sometimes there are upgrades that are available, and if you don't ask, even if it says space available, they just won't give it to you. Maybe I have to click a few clicks that I don't feel like clicking. Maybe that means I have to walk further. Maybe that means that I have to do something extra behind. Remember, you are dealing with other people here, and they too will choose, you got the reference. They too will choose the path of least resistance. And while, yes, it doesn't cost you anything extra, maybe somebody does something they don't want to have to do. You never know. Space available upgrade, never ever take that at face value. Even if they don't, you open your goddamn mouth and you say, do you have upgrades available? Put the onus on them to tell you no. And in some cases, you may be able to prove that they might be full of shit. You never know. But closed mouths don't get fed. You will starve for an upgrade in some cases if you do not say anything, especially in the Americas and in some cases in Europe. There are other places where your status, the cards that you hold, your perceived status will grant sway. And, you know, that might be the case, but you cannot bet on that at all times. I ask for an upgrade everywhere. I check in, are there any upgrades available? Is first class full? I check the board. I go to the hotel. Do you by chance have any upgraded rooms available? I booked via Amex FHR. Yes and no. If you watch my previous video, FHR Wars, between me and the wife using our FHR credits in Vegas, you'll see what opening your mouth about an upgrade could do for you. In addition to that, rental cars, period. That could be the difference between an intermediate and a full-size vehicle. Open your mouth. Space available, if applicable. These are trigger words that will influence people to not want to be that type of person, to be polite, to not want to seem greedy. No, I want it all. I want every bit of it. I want everything that I got coming to me. If it's there, then it's there. If it's not, then it's not. That's all there is to it. Boom. That is perspective number 4. Open your mouth. Don't do the courageous thing and go against convention by using credit card points to get a return on money that you are already spending that is affected by inflation, and then do the redemption and all of a sudden become a meek and mild mouse because, oh, you're doing me a favor by doing this with points. Understand that when you spend points, you are entitled to the exact same treatment as people who spend money. Period. Do not let that psychology get to you. Go get your space available upgrade. If that space available upgrade means a better view, if it means a higher floor, it's yours. Take it. It's not costing them anything. It's already prepaid. Go get it. Go get what you got. Let's go back to the chat here. All right, Mike is a new member. Dem says, Cosa Nostra, this thing of ours. Nemo Los Angeles, always ask, speak up. Mike Newland says, what was your last upgrade? What percentage do you think you get upgraded? Very good question. My last upgrade was in Las Vegas at the Cosmopolitan. I was upgraded twice in a row. I was upgraded to a Terrace King room when I booked the City King for my first night there. And then I was upgraded to a City 1-bedroom suite. Right? It was a City 1-bedroom suite, right?
Where?
In Vegas.
Yeah. The first one?
The second one, the big one.
Oh, the apartment?
Yeah, it was damn near an apartment, but it was a City 1 king bedroom suite, and each time I asked about it, Vegas is more service oriented. They tend to, as they want to keep you there for you to spend money. It's a balancing act with them because if they make the room too damn nice, you might not leave and come spend the money in the casino. But then also, given statuses and so on and so forth, they will upgrade you. Before that, let me think. I did not get upgraded. We did not get upgraded at the Wailea in Hawaii. I asked about it, and there was no upgrade available. I did not get upgraded at the Grand Hyatt at DFW. Didn't matter. We were just spending the night there on a stopover. But for me, for upgrades, I will go 3 out of 4 times, to be honest with you. Over the course of my redemption history, probably, yeah, 3 out of 4 times. 75%, I tend to get upgraded. Every 4th time, there's nothing available. I'm almost always upgraded with rental cars. Far as flights go, with flights, I would say it's more 30 to 40% of the time, because when I was exclusively flying Delta, I was hub locked to Atlanta and I was competing with a lot of platinum and diamonds. But the trick to that is to stay at silver, because silver is a different pool of upgrades. And when you use that in conjunction with a card, it actually tends to be more advantageous. As far as American Airlines goes, my upgrades have been very sparse. So I'll say 10% there. United, absolutely not ever. I've never been upgraded on United. I've held silver status for years. And those are the things that I can remember. Marriott, I tend to get upgraded more domestically than Hilton when I stay at their hotels by virtue of my status. So I will put Hilton probably 1 out of 4. I put Marriott 1.5, 2 out of 4. So hope that answers your question. Hey, John says hello.
John says hello.
Yeah, John, he was in New Orleans. I met him in Nebraska.
Hi, John.
There we go. She says hello back. Source King says, in my experience, if you message Hilton 3 to 4 days before checking in through the app about upgrades, you'll get something. Okay, see, that right there literally goes into the last perspective. Open your mouth. So I will keep that in mind. Eatsley Point says, I've got upgraded before by just being nice and dressed properly. Yes, that too works. Presentation works because remember, you are dealing with another human being here, and they are very much so entitled to their perceptions of you and how it is that you present, because depending on who you're dealing with, also they take into account the profitability that you present. If you are coming out of a presidential suite and you don't look very presidential, they may feel as though that's damaging to the brand. Is that a form of bias and prejudice? Absolutely. But we live in the real world and those things exist. So you got to deal with that. I've experienced that myself. It is what it is. I mean, that's what you got to deal with. And then also, that's another thing. Let's go back. Let's go back to the most important word in that statement, nice. I've said this before. Gate agents, bellmen, hotel people, rental car people, they are not slaves. They are not dirt. They are not shit on your shoe. You would be surprised how far common politeness goes. I've watched people speak to those who control their trips in appalling fashion, and I'll never understand why. A flight attendant can make your flight absolutely miserable should they feel the need. They can change it. You'd be surprised the amount of power that they wield. And I've watched people talk to others in service like absolute garbage, and I'll never understand it. And being polite, sometimes simply waiting. And it's not even always what you say, sometimes what you don't say. Letting someone take a beat, you would be surprised the kind of pressure you relieve off of them and how they will repay you. And it can be just exponential. So let's head down. PG Gar says, the Grand Wailea is very stingy with their upgrades. I've been upgraded once to an ocean view. Okay, well, that is something to know. Oh, call me Lonnie in the building. Salute from Japan. You are the furthest person who has ever attended a live. Japan is on my bucket list, man. I hope you are enjoying yourself. Please be safe. Thank you so very much for attending. All right, John says last year, Mr. Heaven, I don't know what that one is. Call Diaz says, free preferred seat selection is arguably bigger benefit than getting the upgrade list, depending on where you fly out of. Absolutely. I know with my status with American Airlines, the fact that I can get those seats at booking guarantees me an extra, 6 inches of my of legroom worth his weight in gold for me, even if I don't get an aisle seat. So great point there. Call Me Lonnie says, you best be nice to those who control your flight, bed, and food. Yes, I don't know why this needs to be said, but you would be surprised how many people obviously missed that class in preschool. James Ragland says, treat the janitor the same way you treat the CEO. Absolutely. That especially resonates for me. I come from a family, I am first generation American, and my mother cleaned city buses and was able to raise 3 functional members of society, 3 property owners, 3 people who have done amazing things from cleaning buses. You know what I mean? That is something that's close to me. I don't see where. One thing I can guarantee you is while people have done things that may garner them more accolades than other, there is a baseline fact that there's no reason to disrespect anybody based on their station. It just isn't. Their potential for greatness is always there. And who are you to deny or assume that you know what that level is? So let's see here. Nemo Los Angeles says, Chad is giving life lessons that matter. Yeah, these are my perspectives, man. These are the things, and I thank you. These are the things that I've learned in my travels, which are considerable. That be they local, international, or for business. It's just a thing. Each Sleeper Point says, yes, what if the janitor's TV is on the TV undercover boss? Yeah, it could be the case. I think you're messing with me. But anyway, now that we've gotten down to the bottom of the comments, we are 14 minutes until the hour is up. Actually, we're less than 10. But let's do this here. This is the final one, and this ties into everything that I've been saying, that John's been saying, that other people in the space who believe in the old school way of doing things. This is a very simple perspective. Showing and proving. Showing and proving trumps theory crafting any day of the week. You can tell me how to get to the moon with points. That's great. You can tell me how to get a mail order bride with points. Fantastic. But if you can tell me all of that and you've never even stayed on the opposite end of your city with points, I ain't trying to hear shit you gotta say. I ain't trying to hear it. If you can't tell me one meaningful redemption you have done with the points that you are hoarding and the credit cards, yeah, you can miss me with that shit. Just period. Show and prove. Now, am I telling everyone to go live from locations like I do? Absolutely not. There are ways to prove that you have done this, but trust me, when I speak to people, even if you don't show me where you've went, trust me, speaking to you, when I hear your journey, I can tell whether you've been there or not. I can tell if you've redeemed on that airline or not. I can tell if you stayed at that hotel or not. Showing and proving is the magic that makes this worth it. You'll like, okay, take for example, college. I went to college. I have a bachelor degree. Could I go graduate? Probably. You know, there are people who go to college and they get higher level degrees, graduate degrees, high power degrees, specialized degrees such as Juris Doctors and PhDs. Then you have people who have high school diplomas. Was it because they weren't suited for college? Maybe, maybe not. Was it because they couldn't afford college? Maybe, maybe not. But the fact is that I've met people with high school diplomas and less than high school diplomas, high school dropouts, that have been smarter than people with PhDs behind their name. I have met them in person that have been just brilliant. That indicator is that they were able to show and prove their knowledge without me having to do that investigation. Meanwhile, I've spoken to MDs that I probably wouldn't want to count me change out at a Walgreens, to be perfectly honest with you. I have. Some people have a very thin bandwidth of information that they're very good at, and they tend to miss things that are even obvious to children. So with that being said, showing and proving that you can sit in the classroom does not conflate to showing and proving that you could run the classroom if the teacher's gone. I need you to show and prove that beats all the theories that you can do. I can theorize that I can go get a graduate degree and run the Pentagon's IT system. That's great. This is how I would do it. Well, did you do it? No. Then shut up. Shut up. Shut all the way up. I beg your Fiden's pardon. Shut your stupid face. That is what it is. Showing and proving, that is what I'm all about. And with that, we are coming up on the last 5 minutes. I apologize for the late start. In addition to all of that, I will craft up the thumbnail and put this with the rest of the live content as they're normally packaged. Unfortunately, StreamYard gave me problems, but there are no excuses. Just like I told you in my pet peeves perspectives, don't accept bullshit excuses from creators. I was there, I brought the computer. If I couldn't do it one way, I simply had to do it another, and here I am. So don't accept bullshit excuses. I'm not gonna give you bullshit excuses, so that is why we are here. You're vertical on my phone. So let's go back to the chat here. John's Credit and Travel says, I want to see proof of the math and the redemptions with Build 2.0. Okay, Theories Crafters, show me the proof you're actually doing something. Nemo Los Angeles says, all facts. Credit Chill Food says, I can show you better than I can tell you. I know that's right. I live by that too. It's like sometimes, people don't want to listen. People don't want to listen. I can tell you from personal experience, people have a huge problem with listening to me. I get it. But it doesn't diminish what it is that I can do. Now, here's the difference is that you can tell people something, but when you show them, sometimes while they understand, because they didn't want to listen, they don't experience it the way that they should because they're just looking for the surface. But if I got to show you, it don't mean I got to take you with me. But it is what it is. Let's see here. Oh, Kiki Adventures chat finally making it live. Brian Rangers, yo chat, hello and welcome to the chat. So now with that, we have done all of the perspectives. Now let me think. I told you guys shit I got wrong last week doing the 2 subs. Did I get anything wrong this week? No, I've been too busy. I haven't even crafted anything, but I guarantee I'll fish something out. Other than that, really and truly, check out the new merch. Once again, it's by Dylan Harry. Any creators who want him to design any of your merch, I have his email address. I would love to pass that on. And with that, we have the mini meet in Sacramento the last weekend of March, hosted by Happy Tom. Also, there is the yearly meetup that will be in Charleston, South Carolina, hosted by Anthony Venture. That too is coming up, just so you know. These are the facts that I'm bringing you. Oh, let me get something. Here, let's do this. Hold on. Credit Chill Food says, need to get up with you, Chad. Need to figure out how to book Starlux flights to Japan. Don't want to mess up. Absolutely. Starlux, I listened to something about Starlux and the founder. It is a fantastic airline, but getting to the point is that they have opened up routes in addition to the West Coast, because I do believe Starlux trying to be, oh man, I want to say they want to go Star Alliance, but they have San Francisco, LAX, but they've also opened routes from Phoenix to the Far East as well. So yeah, Starlux is good. Actually, I want to fly Starlux too, but let me get something for you guys. Now, when I say show and prove, this is what I mean by show and prove. When I tell y'all I've been in this game heavy, I've been in it heavy for years. Does anyone recognize this card? Does anyone recognize this? This is the Ebates card. The Ebates card was a Visa, this one, member since 2012, good through 2022. So it's been expired for quite a few years. That was a reward card to the point I don't even remember what the hell the reward structure was. But one card that I absolutely do remember is this. Wait a minute. Oh, that's the Rakuten card. No, it's not. This is the father of the present day Rakuten card. This card was a Visa signature card that gave you 3% back, 3 Rakuten points back, in addition to purchases that you did on Rakuten, and they sunsetted this card, I believe it was 2021. They sunsetted this card. But this card was, as opposed to the American Express that it is now, it was a Visa signature card. Actually, at the time, it was the equivalent of a Visa signature card, but if you look at there, it's actually a Visa Platinum. So that is something that I wanted to show you guys. So I have the grandfather and the father and the newest iteration of the Rakuten card. As you can see, the color scheme is very familiar, but this is an American Express, and this card is good for American Express offers. You can use that. You can use it with Rakuten, obviously, to get an extra, I know in some cases, extra 1%, but that first Rakuten card was a monster. And I've actually hit the sign-up bonus for this already to get my Rakuten points for 1 redemption to rule them all. I actually used this to pay the fees for some first-class bookings that I did. So, just to let you know, it's for 1 redemption to rule them all. So that's just to let you know. Show and prove. I am showing you. Boom. That's where I am with it. Remember, since 2012. Now, what ended up happening was Rakuten purchased Ebates. Now, when Rakuten purchased Ebates, that's why I was issued a Rakuten card to replace the Ebates card, and now I have the current Rakuten card. So, with that, that is our show for today. I would like to thank everybody for participating with me and, bearing with me and my tardiness. I'm actually, I say that I'm tardy all the time. I'm actually chronically on time. But with that, this is where I say, you could have been anywhere else, but you decided to be here. I do not count milestones as each and every one of you have taken an hour out of your day to listen to me wax idiotic about my perspectives and my stories is greatly appreciated by me. I really do use my points, and I hope that I can help you be the smartest people in the room when it comes to credit and travel. Any and all questions are always welcome, and I thank you so much for taking this time to spend with me. I appreciate you so much, because without you, there is no me. You are the credit card creators, and don't ever forget that. Please hold us to a higher standard as we are forced to deliver higher quality product. I thank you so much, and I hope all of you guys enjoy your Saturday, enjoy the rest of the day, enjoy whatever it is that you will do, and I wish for you all unending health, wealth, and success. So with that, thank you all who have participated. Remember, next week, same bat time, same bat channel. Who knows where I'll be? Who knows where in the world I'll be? But I will always be here to talk to you. You guys take it easy. I'll get everything all set up and redo all the thumbnails and stuff. And also what I want to do is, at first I didn't want to do this because it's going to be a lot of work and I'm kind of lazy, but might as well step it up a notch. It is 2026 and I ain't getting no younger. I'm going to try to start parsing these into chapters to make the rewatch easier, because an hour-long stream of consciousness, sometimes, like I tell people, have a real problem listening to me. So, I mean, I get it, and I'm going to have to deal with that. So I'm going to try to start parsing these into chapters to make life a lot easier for you guys. So with that, salute to you. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you, Mike Newland, for joining the membership. Thank you, John, for gifting a membership. Thank you, everybody who participated in the chat. Normally, it's much easier for me to keep track on StreamYard, but thank you, everybody, for participating in the chat. I thank you. I respect you. You have my gratitude. Salute. Take it easy. Stay safe out there.